Okay, so I've given a name description to our favorite little patterns here. We always knew this was the third, but let's give it a little more character. This is the Phrygian third, and the top one's the Aeolian sixth. Okay, and you can see that from over here. Aeolian is the sixth, so that would be the sixth. This is the pattern to start the sixth from. This is also that would be the top member of the pattern. The bottom member of the pattern, you play right through, is the one to start the Phrygian third from. Okay, and I was doing a little playing there, where we go 6, 7 root. Okay, the root is this. This is the key of C. All right, and what I'm doing is, all right. Now, instead of doing a pentatonic in C, we're doing a diatonic, but we get the modes then. So it's beautiful. Whenever you want to play a C shape off of your regular guitar E, you want to play a C shape, and you want to start an S2L on those bottom two strings, it's going to be the Phrygian minor. And it's going to go to the fourth of that minor, which is also a minor. Okay? Now, guess what? Guess who sits on top of that? Dorian 2 minor. It's also got the 5/6 sub box. So I've put that attribute to this wonderful little 7L shaped pattern. I call it the mini 7L. The Dorian 2 minor is on top of that. It starts on the key on the D string. Capo there, right? Alright, so that's the Dorian. So now instead of calling it S2L, we could just call it the Phrygo-Aeolian box, and we could call this the Dorian 5/6 box. Now let's look at what good things are in store for us when we get to the S3XL. 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What did I say about them? This is the major box. And you know, majors have all like a lot of whole steps and stuff like that, and so this is the dominant, the root, and the fourth augmented fourth major. Why do I call it the fourth augmented fourth major? Because if you start on this 4 on this pattern here, all right, we haven't put the pattern together yet, you'll get that augmented fourth. That's the difference. Okay, let's build the pattern first. And now this one's a little trickier, because this pattern is an S2L sandwich on S3L upside down, and that's too hard to remember. But when you get into that pattern, let's say we're in the key of F. Okay, now I can bar this. I'll try not to play. It's not going to have to play below the open string. This would be your open E. But if you consider that open E a 7, then you could start a Locrian or a Lydian or an Ionian from here, because you got the 4 and the 7 right there. But let's just look at that Locrian. This is the half diminished of F. Okay. And the good thing about this S4L is it's half step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step. So you can just whip right up it. all right, if you get into that. But that's a little difficult to remember. If you can remember something and you want to play it, great. But if you can't remember it, and that's what I decided, that I wasn't going to be able to remember this that much, except that I can start my Locrian 7th from there. Well, how often will you play Locrian? Okay, I needed also a description to start the root and to start the Lydian 4th. So there they are also. You can work that in. Let's just not worry about this right now. Let's just talk about the attributes of these 3 patterns. Remember, this one came from putting 2 of these together and then 2 of them together the other way and getting a 7L right here, which is composed of 2 S3Ls, 2 S2Ls, and we got the middle part of it, which I used to use as like a railroad train, and we will get to this. So we have, now we're going to build a pattern. Now we're going to build our pattern finally. So we're going to start with an S2L. Why? Well, I don't know, but it has to be simple. So see this repeat S2L? That is just there. That is just there to show that the pattern repeats, so we don't make a mistake having to go from the 7 to the 3 like that. I can just go like that and the pattern is still coherent. Alright, that's what the pattern is. So from, I guess it's from the E, you know, from your E, this is just my finger bar, but yours would be, that's where your capo, that's where your fret nut is. We start with a 3rd Phrygian. Okay, now we're in the key of C because we got the C there. So that's the S2L. If you know it, you've put it on top of the S3L and you put it underneath the S3L. So that is a simple pattern. That's the easiest one aside from this guy. Now I figured out a way that we can just use the S3L and not worry about this or this right now. Where are we going to put this? Where's this? It's going to sit on top of this 5, 6. Well, okay, imagine there's 5, 6 here, and then go 7. The 7 is going to be over there. I have something even easier. It's called the S3L 5, 6 substitution. Okay, and what it is, and if you zoom way in here, we got, this is an S3L bottom and an S3L top. Now it's not an upside down sandwich anymore. Okay, I've got it so that it's right side up. So in other words, look over here at the S4L. The top of the S4L is the bottom of the S3L, and the bottom of the S4L is the top of the S3L, but not in this configuration. Look what we have here. This is an S2L going to the bottom of an S3L, and up here is the top of an S3L. What's in between? Just the 5, 6. It's a 5, 6 substitution. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because this 5, 6 starts, this pattern starts with 5, 6 and ends with 5, 6, so you can substitute, do a 5, 6 substitution right in there into that S3L and come out on with the top of the S3L. It's right side up. So that's our new pattern, you know. It'd be like, oh, I went right up that pattern so fast I forgot I ran out of strings, right? Then I'll have to do a half step. See, 6 to 7 be like this. Bump, 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 bump. Remember, you can always continue on the same string if you use the same interval between the one string and the next string. In this, it's usually a whole step. It's usually a whole step. But it's a half step with these guys. From 7 to root is a half step. So if I wanted to play 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3 on the same string, it'd be like 5, 6.